Hey everybody, welcome back to the Loth-Wolf pack. This is Chris bringing you another Covert Missions deck tech. Today we are focusing on the new Poe Dameron. He is a legendary. He is now the Reckless Aviator. So, he has 12 health, 17 points for Elite. He is a pilot only. He has a power action. Spot a vehicle that has no damage to place 1 damage on it. Then, resolve its support die showing damage, increasing this value by 1 or by 2 instead if this character is piloting it. So I'm going to go through a couple of character pairing ideas and a couple of deck ideas to try to figure out how we can best utilize this new legendary from Covert Missions, Poe Dameron, the Reckless Aviator. What you're seeing here is the first place that my brain went to, which doesn't take a genius to figure out, but that is using Armored Reinforcement to get out Poe Dameron's ship, the Black One. So with that, 17 points for Poe, 3 points for Armored Reinforcement. Again, doesn't take a genius to figure out that maybe Satine Kryze, everyone's favorite Hope of Mandalore, is a great pairing for him as far as focusing up and getting money. So the obvious first idea of the deck is to use Armored Reinforcement to get out the Black One on round 1 for only 1 resource. And the Black One has some obvious synergies with Poe Dameron to use his power action to turn his die to any side. So, you're looking at the deck list here. Nothing too groundbreaking here as far as the concept of the deck. However, back in Spark of Hope, I did play a Poe Dameron More Than a Pilot deck that also used the Black One and Armored Reinforcement to get this into play and try to utilize this as much as possible. So something I wanted to touch on was the usage of a card called Mechanical Insight. This is from Way of the Force. It's a 0-cost yellow hero event. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck for a droid or pod racer, reveal it, and add it to your hand. Place the rest on the bottom of your deck in the order of your choice. So the reason we play 2 Mechanical Insights is because with the Black One, when you resolve the special, if a droid is attached to the support, you get to re-roll the die instead of removing it. So we want to try to find either BB-8 as fast as possible, or we also play 2 of the Targeting Astromech, which is also an upgrade droid mod, to put on the Black One to turn on its special to be able to re-roll it back in. So, with the Black One being able to have a power action spotting Poe to turn to any side, and then if you also have the Targeting Astromech as an action to exhaust the Astromech and turn the Black One's die to its special, potentially you can use this special 2, 3, or 4 times in a round before you finish resolving it on a non-special side by keeping it in the pool since you have a droid on it. If you can do the whole thing with BB-8, like you play BB-8, roll him, find a focus up the Black One to a special, then attach BB-8 onto it to ready it, and then since it's readied, then you get to resolve the special on the Black One, deal a damage to a character, and now BB-8 is attached to it, and you get to reroll the die back in. Resolve it, resolve the die, and then activate the Black One to get the die back in, and you can power action it then to turn the die to a special again, resolve it, roll it back in, and if you have the Astromech, you then get to exhaust this to turn to a special again. So you can see how, in each round you can get multiple resolves off of the Black One using this Mechanical Insight card. Pretty cool combo with the Black One and Poe and all these droids. So since we're so all in on the Black One, we also have Defensive Racing to be able to keep the Black One die in the pool. So, after we do all this special chaining, quote unquote special chaining, not really chaining specials, but just resolving the special multiple times in a row, then on the last resolve, hopefully we can use Satine to focus the Black One to a damage side and then use Poe to, snoke it, so to speak, and then increase that damage by 2 because he'll be piloting the Black One. So this is kind of just the first idea that my head went to as far as getting the Black One out for 1. If you've never played a Poe Dameron AR deck to get the Black One out for 1 resource, it does feel really, really strong to get this vehicle out for 1 resource. especially when you can abuse the special. Granted, the last Poe Dameron from the Legacies starter set, the More Than a Pilot one, his special synergizes a bit better with the black one because you can use Poe special to special chain on this black one. But still, I think it still has a lot of potential for this deck. So you can see the draft here. Obviously this is just a draft. I haven't played this deck, but I think the concept is very strong and definitely fun to play. So this is Poe, Satine, and Armored Reinforcement. Next, we are looking at a character who has basically seen zero play, which is Finn, Soldier of Necessity. He is a legendary from Legacies. I think his special actually does synergize pretty well with Poe, since Poe is going to be damaging your own vehicles to put damage on it. And if you happen to find a special from Finn, you can then move that damage from one of your vehicles to an opponent's character. So he recently was Balance of the Force down to 14 points. So with Poe being 17 and Finn being 14, we can play Solidarity and play a really cool thematic Poe Dameron, Reckless Aviator, Finn, Soldier of Necessity, mono red hero deck, which these two haven't really been able to be played with each other. You could play More Than a Pilot and Finn in the past, but I feel like this is going to work a little bit better because we can play now with the Fireball in the card pool and the Phantom in the card pool now with Covert Missions. It gives us 2 more cheap vehicles to kind of fuel this strategy of drop a vehicle or 2 every round and then try to find a damage side on the vehicle and then use Poe to Snoke the vehicle. And then we have Finn special to possibly gain some advantage there by removing the damage like I mentioned before. And also with Finn having a 3 indirect side, that also lines up with Poe's 2 indirect side, which I believe More Than a Pilot Poe did not have an indirect side, so sometimes this was just kind of lackluster with Finn. But you can see the deck list here. I kind of just drafted this up the other day, so obviously a lot of these cards could be swapped out for other options, but I think this is going to be a really fun deck to try out. I've always been a fan of Solidarity just because of the variety it adds to the games, and ideally we're going to have 1 or 2 vehicles in our hand every round, and I decided to add in the Pod Racer and the Phantom just to have as many cheap options as possible to slam down to get Poe in action and try to get Finn maybe seeing the light of day with the Balance of the Force and having now a new coat guy, even though they're both wearing the same coat coincidentally. Or same jacket. We can make a deck name based around the jacket, but another fun deck, possibly very thematic deck. Maybe it could be okay. We've all in the past seen the power of Snoke. He by himself is able to win a lot of games. So maybe this Poe Dameron, if we have a lot of vehicles out, can give us some of that same style of leverage in mono red hero deck with Solidarity. So this is Poe Dameron, Reckless Aviator, and Finn, Soldier of Necessity with Solidarity. So after talking about Armor Reinforcement and Finn and Solidarity, I thought Poe could maybe be a great guy to get the X-Wings seeing some play. And the reason I say that is because even in the early rounds when you only have 1 X-Wing, or maybe in the round 2 when you have 2 X-Wings, even with only 1 X-Wing, it still isn't going to feel as bad because you can use Poe's power action to increase the damage on that lone X-Wing up to 3 if it's the only one in play. So that was kind of the idea for, sparking this X-Wing build of Poe. And then with Poe, I thought, let's throw in Holdo, because she loves flyboys like Poe Dameron. And with the special here, maybe we can actually get out 1 or 2 vehicles for free on a round if we can find her special and then try to drop as many X-Wings into the battlefield as we can. So you can see the list here. With all these decks, I've been including the Phantom and the Fireball. I think the Fireball and the Phantom are both really, really strong options for Hero Red. Very cheap. I mean, this Fireball die for 2, 1 gun plus 3 gun and a 2 indirect is really, really good. And I don't really think this the blank, whatever. You got to take some chances and see what can happen. But I think this could be a cool way to try to, like I said, get these X-Wings to see some to see some play. If you've ever tried the X-Wings, obviously it's a very high variance card. Sometimes you draw one or two early, sometimes you don't. But like I said, I think that variance can be offset a bit because of Poe's power action to at least keep the damage curve up a little bit. But in these support or big character / support character type decks, Poe and Holdo, similar to the Poe Satine AR deck, it's going to be interesting to see if the deck can still pump enough damage in once Poe goes down to close out games. But by that point, maybe we have 2, 3, or 4 X-Wings out on the table, and these are all 4 damage sides. So another type of Poe Dameron deck I'm excited to try, and Holdo she also has not seen a ton of play throughout Spark of Hope. So another thematic mono red hero deck that uses 2 characters that kind of work together in the movies, or at least they try to, and tries to exploit a card that is obviously one of the most not legendary, but iconic cards of the whole Star Wars Skywalker saga that has seen 0 competitive play throughout its lifespan in the game of Destiny. So this is kind of the last idea I had for Poe Dameron Reckless Aviator. So again, guys, hope you guys have been starting to brew up some ideas with your Covert Missions card pools, getting ready for the release next week on March 6th. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been Chris with the Loth-Wolf Pack. Keep on rolling, and we'll see you next time for some more Destiny content.